What happened in this Madrid derby was simply insane. A breathtaking game filled with controversies, penalties, provocations, and a shocking ending that left every fan speechless. But believe it or not, a lot went unnoticed, and that's exactly what we're going to show you now. If you think you've seen it all, get ready. This story has way more than it seems. So if you love football and are a cool person who wants to help, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like. It would really mean a lot to me. Thank you. The rivalry between Real Madrid and Atlético de Madrid is already intense by nature, but this time, it was war. Even before the match started, the atmosphere was completely hostile for both sides. The rivalry was at its peak, and once again, Vinicius Jr. was targeted by Atlético fans. Before kickoff, racist chants were heard outside the stadium, adding even more pressure on Real Madrid's number 7. And that energy carried into the game. If you blinked, you missed the first goal. Atlético Madrid opened the scoring just 30 seconds into the match, catching Real Madrid completely off guard. A lightning-fast play that ended with the ball in the net, sending the Metropolitano into a frenzy. The stadium erupted and Atlético's players went all in, showing that they weren't going to make life easy for their biggest rival. Diego Simeone knew he needed the perfect strategy to contain Real Madrid. And not just that, but to completely shut them down offensively. And that's exactly what he did. The Argentine coach made crucial tactical adjustments, especially on the wings and left flank, neutralizing Rodrigo, who had been a key attacking piece for Real Madrid. Real Madrid, a team used to controlling matches, simply couldn't create clear chances. Atlético played a very physical game, closing all passing lanes and making life miserable for the visitors. It wasn't until the second half that Real Madrid had a big opportunity, thanks to a brilliant individual play by Mbappé. The Frenchman took on the defenders, and when they couldn't stop him, an Atlético defender fouled him inside the box. Penalty for Real Madrid. Vinicius Jr. stepped up to take it, carrying a huge responsibility. He had never missed a penalty for the club before, but this time he skied it. A terrible miss, and the impact of that miss was clear. Vinicius felt the pressure hard. After that mistake, he practically disappeared from the game, missing dribbles he usually nails and losing confidence in one-on-one situations. He just couldn't recover mentally and ended up being one of Real Madrid's most anonymous players after the penalty miss. After the game, Rodrigo spoke about Vinicius Jr.'s missed penalty. Let's hear what he had to say.
Vocês poderiam ter empatado o jogo com o pênalti que o Vini acabou perdendo. Como é que tá o Vini depois? Porque a gente sentiu que depois do pênalti talvez ele sentiu um pouquinho e também foi substituído assim como tu durante o jogo.
Bom, não, ele tá bem, acho que é normal você dar uma baixada assim na confiança quando você acaba perdendo um pênalti, mas ele acho que tinha feito todos os outros pênaltis que ele tinha batido, ele tá treinando muito bem, infelizmente deu azar hoje no jogo, mas ele tem muita personalidade, continuou tentando no jogo, talvez não era nosso dia ali para ganhar nos 90 minutos, mas ele tá bem, a gente tá feliz com a vitória, de algum jeito a gente tinha que ganhar, mesmo que tenha perdido um pênalti, depois a gente ganhou nos pênaltis, então isso é o mais importante.
After 90 intense minutes and a tied aggregate score, the match went into extra time. But the truth is, the players were completely exhausted. The game's pace dropped dramatically, and both teams started playing more on sheer grit than on actual skill. With both teams drained, a penalty shootout became inevitable, and that's exactly what happened. The tension was unbearable, and the players knew that a single mistake could cost their team a spot in the Champions League quarter-finals. What happened next was one of the most controversial and thrilling penalty shootouts in recent history. Mbappé took the first shot and scored for Real Madrid. Then Sørloth and Bellingham both converted as well. Next up was Julian Alvarez, and here's where the biggest controversy of the match happened. The team's top scorer, Julian, slipped while taking the shot and ended up touching the ball twice. The VAR immediately intervened and ruled the goal out, leaving Simeone furious. The coach questioned whether there was truly a clear image of the double touch and criticized the decision after the match. Meanwhile, on Real Madrid's bench, the reaction was immediate. Players and staff pressured the referee, demanding the penalty be disallowed. And it didn't stop there. Marcos Llorente also missed his shot, hitting the post, while Oblak made a brilliant save against Lucas Vázquez. When it was Antonio Rudiger's turn, the tension was at its peak. His shot would decide the match. And interestingly, Mbappe stepped in to protect him from a last-minute distraction attempt by Llorente. Mbappe made sure to encourage Rudiger before the kick, helping him stay focused. The result? Goal. Real Madrid secured their spot in the next round, and Atlético was eliminated once again. The moment the ball hit the net, Rudiger went absolutely crazy. He sprinted across the pitch like a madman, completely out of control, shouting and waving his arms in the wildest way. And the best part? The rest of the team joined in, mimicking his celebration and chasing after him. The scene was hilarious. The German defender looked like an unstoppable tank, and Real Madrid's players celebrated like they had just won a title. While the players were celebrating on the field, Thibaut Courtois didn't miss the chance to provoke Atlético's fans, clearly responding to the boos and insults he had received throughout the match. And if there's one player who never forgets the taunts he receives, it's Vinicius Jr. He was booed, insulted, and targeted with offensive chants the entire game. But after the victory, it was time for payback. Tensions escalated when Atlético fans started throwing objects onto the pitch. Bananas, bottles, lighters, everything was being hurled at Real Madrid players. But Vinicius wasn't intimidated. Quite the opposite, sarcastically clapping and celebrating even harder in response to the abuse. If this match proved anything, it's that Atlético simply can't beat Real Madrid in the Champions League. That's now 6 consecutive eliminations, including 2 finals, and this one was even more painful because it happened at the Metropolitano, in front of their own fans. For Atlético supporters, it was yet another heartbreaking chapter in their Champions League nightmare. They left the stadium furious, unable to believe that once again, their biggest rival had crushed their dreams. Now, Real Madrid advances to the quarterfinals and will face Arsenal. The first leg will be in England, and the second leg will be at the Santiago Bernabeu. A tough matchup, but the Spanish Giants are still alive in their quest for another Champions League trophy. And the standout player of the match, Camavinga, the Frenchman, came on in the second half and was simply outstanding. He dominated the midfield, made crucial ball recoveries, and was fundamental in shutting down Atlético at the most critical moment of the game. Without a doubt, one of his best performances of the season. So what did you think of this crazy match? Was Atlético robbed, or did Real Madrid deserve to go through? Drop your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Oh, and don't forget to hit the like button. This video definitely deserves it. See you next time.